Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to some esports picks. It is kind of late, so I can't be too loud. My girlfriend's sleeping and I don't want to wake her up, but that's not going to stop us from making a video. It's going to be a quick one, though. Here is the lineup from yesterday. We went 4-1, so a pretty great day, a pretty great last 2 days. The only loss we had was that Falcons game. Man, maybe I'm just a Falcons stan at this point, but dude, I believed, and they got really close, so can you really blame me for wanting to pick on the Falcons there? It was a decent underdog pick. Don't lie, don't lie. It was a pretty decent pick. But moving on, let's go ahead and look at the lineup for today. First game we got is Young Ninjas versus Lil Mix. I think Young Ninjas should be able to take this relatively easily. Lil Mix is a team that goes on some crazy loss streaks. If they were to beat Young Ninjas here, it would be an insane upset. So I'm pretty comfortable throwing a three-quarter unit at that. The odds aren't great or the payout isn't great for Young Ninjas, but I think this game's a lock, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. Next up, we got Incilio versus Minlate. Incilio is a team that has been, recently playing amazing. They've been taking games over teams they shouldn't be taking games on, so I got to give this one to Incilio. I'm kind of on the hype train right now for them, so a half unit over Minlate, which Minlate isn't a team I really know too much about. I did some research, so it really seems like Incilio should have a relatively easy time taking this 2-0. Gun 5 versus Novak. I'm not crazy about this series because Gun 5 tends to choke a lot, like especially in the late game. They have a hard time closing out matches, but they kind of outclass Novak for the most part, right? If they can just stick to their game plan and not choke in the late game, they should have no issue beating Novak here. So that being said, only quarter unit, but I am going to go on Gun 5 for this. Amcal versus Jano. I've just seen more out of Amcal. I think they're the better team here. I'm not crazy confident. Again, one of those matches I'm only throwing a quarter unit on. Next up, we got Navi Jr. versus Sashi. Navi Jr. is a team that has, been playing crazy. Their last 20 games, they've only lost to one team, which is Sinners, and they've lost like twice to Sinners over their last 20 or something, unless you count a forfeit, which they had to forfeit against Passion UA, but that doesn't really even count. But they've been playing nuts, so I really think they shouldn't have an issue with Sashi, which, I mean, Sashi isn't a bad team, and they could pull this upset, so I am only going to put a quarter unit, but Navi Jr. really shouldn't struggle here. And lastly, today we have OG versus 010. I'm going to put a quarter unit on OG. I think they just should, same thing as with Navi Jr., they should just be able to outclass 010. 010's a not, like, terrible team, though. They have been taking wins recently. Here and there, they've struggled with teams that they shouldn't have struggled with, but I can honestly see them winning this, but I have more confidence in OG taking this rather than 010 having that upset. Okay, now we're moving on to something a little spicy. We got some parlays. I'm going to go ahead Young Ninjas plus Incilio for a 1 to 1.7 payout, half unit on that. I feel like it's a relatively safe parlay. I don't think either of those teams are going to lose, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. A half unit isn't too bad. I am pretty confident in both those teams, but if you want to spice it up even more, go ahead and throw Navi Jr. on that for a 2.27 payout. I'm probably only going to throw a quarter unit, but I think that third leg, definitely worth looking into. But that's all I got time for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope some of you are making some good money. But yeah, take it easy. Don't forget to sub, and peace out, boys.